Değerli misafirler, İstanbul Finans Zirvesi bu yıl 9. kez düzenleniyor ve öğle arasının ardından devam ediyoruz bu kez. Evet, öncelikle bir keynote konuşmamız olacak, ardından geçeceğimiz bir oturumumuz var ve bizlerle birlikte olan Türkiye Varlık Fonu Yönetim Kurulu Üyesi ve Genel Müdürü Sayın Zafer SÖNMEZ'i davet etmek istiyoruz konuşmaları için. Sayın Zafer SÖNMEZ'i alkışlarımızla sahnemize davet edelim. Hoş geldiniz Sayın SÖNMEZ. Buyurunuz, söz sizde.
Öncelikle İngilizce yapacağım ama yabancı misafirlerin olduğunu düşünüyorum. Hazırlığı İngilizce yaptım, kusura bakmayın. I would like to start my talk in English because I prepared this in English. Thanks for the guests and organizers. I would like to thank you especially for the organizers because they put me in a prime time today. Because in the last years, actually, I was summoned for the sessions after 6 p.m. I was more relaxed. Right now, it's a prime time event. I have to be very careful about my speech. I started on Monday physically, and please do not expect too much to hear on the Sovereign Wealth Fund, because it's been just two days for me. But I will provide some content and high-level perspective on the sovereign funds and the Turkish Sovereign Wealth Fund as well. In terms of actually what we will do, I will show you a short video for 40 seconds, and I will come up if the desk can help us. So this is Admiral McRaven, the head of Naval SEALs. So he gave a speech on YouTube, which I like a lot. If we can start that with that.
Change the world, start off by making your bed. If you make your bed every morning, you will have accomplished the first task of the day. It will give you a small sense of pride, and it will encourage you to do another task, and another, and another. And by the end of the day, that one task completed will have turned into many tasks completed. Making your bed will also reinforce the fact that the little things in life matter. If you can't do the little things right, you'll never be able to do the big things right. And if by chance you have a miserable day, you will come home to a bed that is made, that you made. And a made bed gives you encouragement that tomorrow will be better.
So everybody's asking what is your task and what you will do in Turkish Wealth Fund. Every morning I start up by making my bed in my house. I never leave the house without making my bed. I think first task in the morning I will start making my bed and will strive for accomplishing the others. And every day, day by day, we will try to do something. I think it's a discipline that we have to establish everywhere. In terms of concepts, actually, everybody, when you search something in Google on any topic, actually, you find MIT, Stanford, that kind of stuff that you rely on. I'm not that guy, actually. I look into some local stuff as well. There's a very good study on sovereign wealth funds prepared by Selçuk University. I like the guys. I will meet with them. So Fatih Güzel, Melek Acar, Gamze Şekeroğlu. Sovereign Wealth Fund, a comparison of Turkish Wealth Fund with world peers. It says samples. English is okay. It should be peers, but I don't mind. So they categorize the sovereign funds into 5: stabilization funds, savings funds, reserve investment companies, development funds, and retirement reserve funds. I pick up the development funds definition there. It says, funds set up to finance industrial social economic projects such as infra and support industrial policies that could increase the output growth of the country. I like the definition. Actually, there's a conceptual problem in the media on Turkish Wealth Fund. So in my understanding, this is a sovereign development fund. And Turkish is an interesting language. You explain hundreds of things in one sentence. English is the other way around. You have 100 words for defining one topic. So, asset versus wealth. This is, people say, do we have wealth? I don't care. We have assets. So this is an asset-backed holding company, platform, fund, whatever you call it. Turkey Wealth Fund is a joint stock company, anonim şirket, and it will function as a company. It will have a functioning board. It will have committees under the board. Executive powers will be with the management. Management will be subject to KPIs. If we deliver, we deliver. If we don't deliver, then we will be subject to normal punishment of an anonim şirket or joint stock company. I'm up for it. So, in terms of comparables, I worked in Kazana National. Kazana means hazine. Hazine National, Milli Hazine of Malaysia. Very luckily, actually, I lived in Malaysia between 2012 and 2013. ASEAN market, which people know very less in Turkey, actually, is a very dynamic environment. GDP growth is more than 5%, and sovereign presence is very visible in ASEAN markets. So sovereign funds is in the life. You see everywhere. Telco companies, banks, whatever you see is all over the place. So I understand this, and the southern neighbor, Singapore, has Temasek. So Temasek AUM, which is asset under management, is around 225 billion US dollars. Kazana National is roughly 40 billion US dollars. GDP of Malaysia is around 400. So this reminds me one thing, actually, the savings problem of Turkey. So we have to address it. And when you look into the rankings, actually, Sovereign Wealth Fund institution is available. So the total sovereign wealth funds is actually $8 billion, $8 trillion, sorry, $8 trillion. And Turkey is mentioned there as 40 billion. I didn't give this number, but it is available, therefore, no harm to say that. I cannot justify. It's 0.5% of the total. So if you ask me, what is your vision? I need to clear the mandate. But why don't we make it 5%? Why don't we make it 10% of it? So I have that actually vision. 5 years down the road, you will see this fund will be the international business card of Turkey. As it is, Temasek for Singapore, Kazana for Malaysia, PIF for Saudi Arabia, RDIF for Russia, similar. My mission, okay, I define it. We will build an institution. We will build an institution. We have to. We will work on the governance. We have to establish international governance standards there. We need a functioning board. As you have seen, the board actually is, the new board is, as it was in the earlier one, experience, much more diversified, impactful, and it will be focused. There is high commitment from the political ownership. His Excellency, President Erdogan, will be chairing the board, as it is in the peers. When you look into PIF, the Public Investment Fund in Saudi Arabia, or RDIF in Russia, GIC in Singapore, or Samruk Kazina, whatever you take it, international peers, head of state, either chairs or another senior politician chairs. On top of that, His Excellency Berat Albayrak will be the executive minister there. So, thanks to the highest commitment of the political bodies. How are we going to deliver this? we will build further trust with the investors. We will not bulldoze. We will win the hearts. That's how I do business. We will do networking. And a new approach and understanding will be in place. Result-oriented, progressive, accountable, and inclusive. This fund has to be inclusive. My focus areas actually will be clearing the mandate, establishing the governance, and increasing the transparency in the fund, and also accountability through various audits and other parties. As the Admiral tells us actually, if we want to change the world, if we want to build an institution, let's start by making our bets every morning. And not just me. Actually, this audience has to help me. I cannot do it on my own. My tradition is to listen to everyone. There's a very important surah in Quran, Shura. It means consensus. So we have to listen, and we have to find a nice, actually, interpretation of the best practice. We have to deliver this. I'm very committed. My sleeping average in the last 1 week or so is 2 to 3 hours. My average in the last 6 years was 4. So nothing so different. I would like to thank International Istanbul Finance Summit organizers. This is an important platform, and actually there has to be continuity in this platform. Turkey needs this kind of platforms. I would love to see the next year's session full of people, and maybe I get an opening speech. I'm joking. So from 6 p.m. to prime time, and maybe opening ones. I would like to thank all of you for your time and effort. I have to rush and continue my work. It's my honor to speak here. And on the media side, we will communicate with the media later. I will not give any speech, but this will be in a structured manner. Thank you for everyone for bearing the time with me, and hope we can deliver this.
Çok teşekkür ediyoruz Sayın SÖNMEZ.